What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today is April the 4th. I want to give you a quick pre-market update, go over some of the hot movers and what big money is doing on this fun Friday morning. Before we get into any of that though, make sure you hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So starting off with data points, we have a couple big ones coming out today, non-farm payroll and also unemployment. But given the circumstances of what just came out, I think the only one to really save this downtrend is Powell. And even dependent on what he does state, I can't anticipate him really saving the market of what just came out. So starting off, you have Dow down 3.17%, S&P 3.24%, NASDAQ down 3.34%, and that is all because of this. So obviously it is fair to assume that a lot of countries were not going to take the tariffs just thinking Trump they were going to retaliate. So China did strike back. That just came out 1 hour ago with a 34% tariff on all goods starting on April the 10th. So they gave that 1 week window ultimately just to, in my opinion, just to have Trump back down from his tariffs, because he is a very proud individual. He wants the market to represent his term accordingly. And so right now the market down was at 12% so far year to date isn't the best whatsoever. But as of right now, fear and greed index is under the extreme fear category 6. So this is some 08 levels starting to occur. So we'll just have to wait and see how that all plays out. But starting off with SoFi, it is down 8.46%. And spoiler alert, a lot of these kind of stocks I'm going to be talking on have no news, so it's just reacting to obviously China. But aside from that, 13.02% of the free floats being shorted, works out to be 140.27 million shares overall are being shorted. Right now with at 973, and right below this S2, so 996 will be a key pivot for it today. I'd like to say it needs to close above that in order for it to really move higher, but honestly, I think just given the circumstances, there's just going to be a lot more blood. And unfortunately as well, SoFi, given that on a technical standpoint, it is now below the 200-day moving average, insinuating that it was going to be roughly around that $8 range. So it's not the best for SoFi investors. And I think just leading into the last couple of trading days, the sentiment has been very, very low. So this definitely hasn't helped. But moving on, Nvidia is sitting at $97 and change, down 4.39%. And so this one, I think I'll be a buyer. Like I mentioned yesterday, I did anticipate for Nvidia over the next 2 days, so yesterday and today, for it to be roughly around that 100. So I feel like I'll be a buyer of this today, but obviously it very much could go down even further from here. But shorts are returning 659,000 shares this morning. Always a good sign to see this occur during the pre-market, but 1.13% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 264.78 million shares. So this isn't a squeeze play, so don't get me wrong, them returning doesn't mean it's going to go to MOAS or whatever people call it, but nonetheless, shorts returning is always kind of a good sign, shows that there's value. Right now with at 97 and change, right below this S2, similar to SoFi, so 99.52 will be a good pivot for it. So if you're looking at day trading, that might be where it gravitates towards. Flip side, 91.86. So if it does close below this S2, then anticipate the 90s to be hit. As I've mentioned in the past, whenever there's bloodbaths like in the market and we just are in free fall, the market likes to focus on one stock and just trade it like crazy. Even though there might not be any news or any justified reason for any of this to occur, ICCT has been what the market has selected to be where it's going to day trade. So it is up 17.73% over the last 2 days. It's been top 10 most heavily traded stocks, both in pre-market and also during the trading day. So we'll wait and see how this does play out, but it looks as though if you're looking at kind of day trading a stock, this will be the one. But it is also heavily shorted, so it has that attribute to it. So 76.48% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 941,000 shares. Exactly what the market likes to squeeze. heavily shorted, low float, so this meets that criteria. Aside from that though, with it at $4.90, it is above all of the key fib levels, so it's somewhat in unknown territory. You can kind of use this as a benchmark, the classic, so 588 might be a good target for it today. Amazon, similar, it's just piggybacking off of the China news, down 6.41%, and it's not heavily shorted, so 0.83% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 78.62 million shares. That's not going to be an influence in it today, but with it right now at 167, it is right above this S3, so it is getting hit a little bit more than just the broader market. So if it does break below that 166, then anticipate 137 to be that next strong kind of target. And then last but not least, Robinhood down 6.56%. So fintechs are getting hit, and I see a lot of people, even though they're fairly big accounts on social media, just saying, well, why is SoFi going down? It's not justified. It's not directly correlated with tariffs, which is pretty surprising considering it's basic knowledge that tariffs do affect consumers' buying power. So that's why Robinhood's getting hit so much, even though it's not directly correlated with tariffs and whatever else. But down 6.33%, 2.91% of the free floats being shorted. Works out to be 22.05 million shares. Shorts have been starting to increase a little bit, as you can kind of see. Back in the day, this also was heavily shorted, so you never know, this could potentially happen again, as what we can kind of see, this orange line. So at its peak, 15.09%. So given the circumstances, you might see a resurgence of shorts, but still, I think Robinhood is very innovative. They've done a lot of things to bring in other sources of revenue, so should be fairly good. But right now with that 35 and change, it is trading between this S1 and this S2. So 36.41 is going to be a key pivot for it today. 31.78 will be a strong support. So let me know your thoughts on these stocks. Is there any stocks that you are buying today, or are you just saying like, you know what, I'm done having an early weekend? What's your kind of viewpoint? One final thing, if you are looking for some kick-ass buy signals, pop over to my Patreon. I give buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto. Many of them have been absolutely on point and bangers. Definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.